first ever legit True
First,
Life
first
episode.
ever.
The guys behind the mic, JD and T. This is the first one. This is the moment we've been looking forward to.
Finally, it's finally here. It's been a long anticipated wait.
It has. I think for both of us, and even both of us have been talking to a lot of people, telling everyone about it. And, I think there's a lot of people out there too that are excited for it.
Yeah, they're ready. They're looking forward to it. I love that we've already got some feedback saying,
Right.
"Oh, I can't wait to hear this."
Right, and you've been doing like the short snippets and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of getting that out there, putting those feelers out there.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be huge.
Yeah. It's great.
This is tight.
Yeah. We're very excited. Obviously, a little speechless right now, but we'll get to these thoughts talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Soon. But
so the first episode is pretty much just our intro episode of us.
Yeah.
Kind of who we are.
Yep.
Not like too crazy deep yet, because I think we both have stories.
Yeah.
Down the line, obviously, we're going to share and get more deep into. But this is kind of just for everyone out there, who's going to be listening to us and whatnot, to get to know us, kind of get a basis of who we are and what we're about, and that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it. Kind of, we can flow right into it and start off with JD.
Yeah.
So.
My real name is Jared.
There you go. I was wondering if we're going to say our full names.
Yeah, my real name's Jared.
Yeah.
But I prefer JD now.
That's cool. I like it.
Shorter. It's easier.
Yeah.
And everyone, and my first name is spelled weird, so it saves a hassle. I get some weird shit. People are always like, "How do you say your name? Is it Jared?" No, it's Jared. exactly how it looks.
Yeah.
It's
still Jared.
Yeah. People have asked me all sorts of crazy stuff. Like, are you Arabic? Are you Middle Eastern? Do I look Middle Eastern?
Wow.
I'm about as white as it gets.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that people did that to your name. I was like,
butcher my name all the time.
Wow, really?
And I've always and I always tell them because it's Jaired. And if you think about it, Jair, Ed. It's literally exactly.
Spell how it sounds.
Literally exactly. Air, you don't pronounce air, or something stupid. It's just Jared. Pretty simple.
People just don't know.
But people are always butchering it, whatever.
That's like my last name, but.
Yeah.
Well.
But JD is so much. It's
JD simple.
For me. It's easier to just be just JD. It's my initials and.
There you go.
Done deal.
And obviously I'm T. Tristan is my actual name, but actually I think more people call me T than Tristan.
Really?
Yeah. Got the name T pretty much ever since I was a little kid. My grandpa, my mom, my dad, they all just called me it. And so then growing up, they would hear them say, "Hey T, come here." And then my friends started calling me T.
And did it carry over into sports?
Oh yeah.
On the field and stuff?
Until I was about, till I got to high school is when T kind of transitioned to sick.
Yeah.
Because the coaches didn't know me as T. All the other guys knew me as T, but they were like, "Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick and Jared." So that's how.
And that's how it was with me, man. Dude, my entire baseball career, I've never it's very rare that actually people would even call me by my first name, especially family or, I guess my family will sometimes, but pretty much all throughout school, sports, anything else I've ever done in my life, it's always been either Dozier, which is my last name, or Doge.
Yeah, I think I've called you Doge a few times.
Yeah, that's literally what people have called me my entire life, and it's just I roll with it,
Yeah. That's just how it goes. That's how names go. Yeah, I don't even call my girlfriend by her name. I change her name all the time. So
I do that too.
Yeah, you got your cute nicknames. Then I call her Muhammad Ali, which is she hates that one. That's funny, but. No, man, that's kind of what makes you is JD is you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm T. So that's what we'll go by on this podcast at least.
Yeah, pretty much.
And basically in life too, so.
Yeah, that's all I do anymore. It's do I go by anything else? Yeah, just call me JD.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is, so in the previewing of, shouting out this podcast and stuff, on our logo, it says JD and T.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Who's JD?" Obviously, they know who T is because I'm literally posting it to my personal Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, "Who's JD?" And I'm just not answering.
Yeah.
I didn't answer for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, tune in
You'll
tune in to find out.
eventually.
Yeah, so like I was like, tune in, you know, you'll see who JD is. But
Surprise.
it's JD. All right.
I'm in the house.
So tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I'm a native.
Native Colorado.
Yeah, man.
That's
Been
awesome.
My entire life.
Springs?
Yeah, yep.
All right.
Always been the Springs. I've lived in other places, but that was just because of my baseball career. And that just took me to different places and lived in different states and whatnot. But yeah, always been a native here. Grew up in the Springs. Went to Doherty, obviously.
Yeah.
With you, graduated from
Yeah,
there.
we do know each other a little bit. So.
Yeah, yeah. This is more for you.
Yeah, it's just more like, I got to ask these questions so you guys can get to know them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, pretty much played baseball my entire life. That was pretty much what I did, what I was good at. Did that, played college. I did a year, with a pro team in Kentucky.
Which is so cool, dude. I'm like, still like,
fun.
oh man, that's
it
awesome.
was so much fun.
Yeah.
That was probably definitely one of the coolest things I've ever done, one of the coolest opportunities I ever had. Even my entire baseball career, just, aside from that, met hundreds of people that are just so cool.
Yeah.
People I still talk to, today. Obviously kind of same to you, like with football and stuff, you just build those friendships and make those connections. Definitely. And it's like I said, there's people that I don't talk to anymore, but are still great people that I was able to meet along the way and whatnot. But aside from the people, I've gotten to travel, the United States because of it, and go to places that I probably never would have really had any interest in going to before, if it wasn't for baseball. So, just like I said, being able to go to like really cool places and experience life outside of Colorado Springs,
yeah,
it was really cool. And like when I was with the pro team and whatnot, it was I was in Kentucky, and I actually thought Kentucky was super dope.
Really?
Yeah, Kentucky was
really
awesome. I was in Florence, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
And that's where the team was based out of. And it was just, I don't know, there was just something about it. Like, it's super cool, laid back kind of lifestyle.
Okay, yeah.
Like, everyone was
just chill.
Super chill. Kind of had that, like, southern mentality type thing. And it was super cool. And I had an awesome host family. My host family was great.
That's cool.
I still talk to them.
Awesome.
But we were like, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes, give or take, from like Cincinnati, Ohio. So you could go and like watch, like the Reds play and stuff. And
that's
that was
cool.
super fun. And
nice.
Cincinnati's, they have a super cool like downtown feel.
Wow.
Super tight. Went to Louisville a couple times. Louisville
that's
was
cool.
tight. Yeah.
That's cool.
Got to see the college and and all that shit.
What was the baseball like? What, like, the transition from high school to college, then to eventually to pro?
I think it was the pace.
Faster?
Yeah, man.
A lot faster.
Yeah, it's, way more fast paced. Naturally more competitive.
Yeah.
For sure. And, for the most part, I think in high school, you have, it's kind of separated where you have like the guys who are very serious about it, right? Like that is their goal.
Yeah.
To get to the next level and continue their dream and their passion. And then you have, some of the guys that are they're just kind of there. Like they enjoy it. It's a passion of theirs, but they don't really have that interest of going on. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Whereas in college, it's the complete opposite. Like everyone is there for the same reason.
Yeah.
Everybody's there to grind, to play, and are super competitive. So you're competing with how many ever guys you had on your team for whatever reason. Our college team had a fucking huge roster. It was stupid. Our roster was way above what we needed it to be, but nonetheless, you're competing with all those guys, and obviously the higher the roster is, the more guys there are in each position. So now maybe instead of competing with, I don't know, let's say you and maybe one or two other guys at the high school level, now you're competing with maybe 3, 4, 5 guys
Mm-hmm.
in your position. Or if you play multiple positions like I did, now you're competing with maybe 10 plus guys because you're trying to do 2 different positions, you know. Definitely more expectations for sure. You know, to perform. You know, in high school, I think I think there's expectations to perform in high school, right? Because everybody wants to win.
Yeah.
But definitely at the college level, you know, and obviously and after, it's a job.
It is.
And I think
it's a full-time job.
Oh, 100%. And I remember, literally if I had morning classes, like it was literally like wake up, go to class, you know, and then, you know, on any given day, maybe I only had like 2 classes, right? Or maybe 3 at absolute most, right? And I think that was like the biggest kind of like flip-flop and getting used to, especially like in college, because in high school you go to school all day long. You're in school for 8 hours, and then you only go to practice for 2.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 2.5, or if you have a game, you know, 2-3 hours. But in college, it was the complete opposite. You went from, like I said, going to school all day to now you're only going to school for a couple hours, maybe 3 at the most. And then you're practicing or you're doing something sports related for 6, 7, 8 hours.
Wow.
So I think that was hard to get used to because you can't, I think that it makes you, you can choose to be lazy, but again, for the most part, everyone had the same mentality and it forces you to not be lazy because now you have all this time to be doing stuff for your sport. You know, so like I said, we'd be going to class, we'd get out of class, and then we'd be going to the cages to get, you know, extra reps in the cages, or we'd be on the field, you know, getting extra reps in on the field. And that might be 4 hours before practice.
Wow.
That night. Then we got practice that night. And now you're at practice for 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was weird too, because like with the NCAA, in the fall time, the coaches like can't have any contact with you, like when it, like they can talk to you and like see you and stuff, but they can't like be out on the field with you. They can't be in the cages with you, helping you, stuff like that, because the NCAA like restricts how much contact time, if you will, there is with the players. So you're expected in the fall time, like when you're not having that contact time with the coaches, and working with them, you're expected to be putting in the work, you know, by yourself.
Yeah.
And I even remember, you know, before we would be getting ready for like spring training and stuff, you know, me and a few guys, we would be at practice an hour early, getting reps in, you know, doing whatever we need to be doing. And then, you know, you're at practice, like I said, 2-3 hours. And then we'd be staying another 45 minutes to an hour after practice. So right there, you got, 6 hours?
Yeah.
I'm bad at math, but I'll probably get roasted for it, but whatever.
Yeah, you're good.
So they're just like, it's, and I think that comes with that expectation to perform.
Yeah.
You're expected to perform, and if you're not consistently grinding, you're not going to perform. Unless you're just the fucking freak who is naturally just good at everything. And it like you just touch something and it turns to gold.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you're not going to perform.
Yeah, I think that really shows, like you just describing it, it shows, like, the true, like, character in an athlete. Yeah. You look at a lot of athletes, and a lot of them get shit for not playing very well. You know, you take, you know, like, Phillip Rivers, what's his name? Andy Dalton. And you're like, all these guys, you know, they suck. And, you know, it's like, no, they're professional athletes. They have put in the work. You don't know what they do behind the scenes.
Right.
Just because things aren't showing up on the field, they're still professional athletes. That is their 100% job, that they are literally day in and day out on the road, putting in work all year round.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think a lot of people, like a lot of fans, don't really see that. And how can they?
Yeah.
You can't have a camera on you the entire time saying, like, look, this is what this dude is doing. This is what this dude is doing. You look at, like, the athletes that don't really go past high school, and some of them are, like, great athletes. Right. They just never had that work ethic.
Exactly.
Some don't have the body type, like myself. I never had the true body type. So being an athlete is not something you just...
It's more than face value.
Yeah, it's not something you just do. You
Yeah,
have to
no.
literally train your entire
Literally work
life,
at it.
and
Yeah.
you got to put a lot in.
Yep.
A lot more than you would when you say, you go apply for a job and you're like, all right, I got the job.
Right. And going
That's
to work
yeah,
and just fucking clocking in every day.
yeah.
And,
You can
and
bullshit
leaving.
that.
Yeah.
Being an athlete is a completely
It's hard to bullshit.
yeah. You can't bullshit it.
No, it's hard.
Yeah.
And even, aside from the physical aspect, like, I mean, you can apply it to every sport, but I remember, in college we traveled by bus pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was kind of pretty much the same for the pros too. We pretty much traveled by bus because we weren't like traveling super super long distances. But I remember in college, we'd be going to a game a couple hours away, and we're up and leaving at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, because we have a game at a start time at, I don't know, whatever, noon maybe. And you're reading scouting reports, and I was a catcher, so I'm literally going through every single player on the other team, every single player that is a hitter, what their batting average is, how many hits do they have, where do they hit the ball, do they hit it to the left side of the field more, do they hit it up the middle more, to the right, are they balanced and they can kind of spread it out everywhere. You're looking, how many strikeouts do they have, are they striking out, swinging, looking, just all sorts of different stuff, and all these different numbers that you're trying to crunch into your head for 10 plus different guys, a couple hours before the game.
Yeah.
You're doing all that, and you're doing it during the game.
Yeah.
Right? Because maybe you're, middle of the game and someone gets substituted, right? Someone gets pulled. Now a new guy's in. Okay, now I got to go see what this guy's about and what he's doing. So the mental side of it too is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I think that's also something else that people don't realize, because that in itself is
it's another level
monster. Yeah.
I don't know quite a whole lot about baseball, but football wise, you got to look at a playbook. So you have that whole other side of learning a playbook. I think there was Cody Latimer for the Broncos. I don't know where he's at now. I know he just got in some trouble recently in Colorado. He was in Aurora or something like that.
That's a perfect place.
Yeah. I think so. Anyway, he got in some trouble, but I remember seeing a report on him, and I was like, why is Cody Latimer not, playing more? Why is he not making these plays? And it's like, he didn't know the playbook. He literally could not remember the playbook. That was the only reason he wasn't playing. And I was like, he's a ball out receiver, but didn't know his stuff. And I was like, wow. His mental side is not there. He's got the physical ability and all that, but his mental state was not there, and it shows now that he's doing whatever. He's in trouble. So yeah, don't know what he did, but he did something. I don't think it's too bad, but I think he got in some trouble, which Bronco players tend to do.
They do. They tend to be
Chad Kelly.
But yeah, no, dude, I think that was probably like the big. It's just it's anything. Yeah, and it's obviously what you make it. Like even high school guys out there, if there's any high school players that are listening to this, like, it is what you make it. You can make your high school career a full-time job as well. You might be getting out of class and having to go straight to practice, and then whatever.
Yeah.
You go straight to practice, but I mean, there's really not a whole lot saying, and this is give or take, right? Everyone's life is different, but there's really nothing saying that you can't stay after practice for an hour or hour and a half.
Yeah.
Get those extra reps in. Do those things.
Yeah. What are you going to put into it to get out of it?
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah. It's all about what you make it. And it was, kind of the same, at the college level. And I know this is actually a whole nother topic we're going to talk about later on, but, there were guys that were fucking lazy.
Yeah.
And they did the bare minimum.
And got by. And
it showed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's, at the end of the day, too, it's also, are you going to be true to yourself? And you're going to bust your ass, you're going to grind, and have that integrity, doing the right thing when nobody's looking, or are you just going to half-ass shit and do the bare minimum to get by, and
I think
it all works out.
I think what you said is probably the most real thing you can say in life. What are you doing when no one's looking?
Yeah, when the camera isn't on, when the lights aren't on.
Especially in this day and age with all social media.
Yeah.
You see all those guys that are like, oh, I'm going to go donate $2,000 to this, family, blah, 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 blah. Do they do that if there's no cameras watching?
Exactly.
If there's no viewers?
Right.
And I think that's one of the big things that, our podcast and we want to get out of is like, when we start, building and getting those funds and stuff like that, we're going to do it behind the scenes. I don't think we need to like truly label it.
No, and there's no need to.
There's no need to, because what's important is we did what we did for a good cause. We did that, and who cares? Who knows?
That's what matters.
Yeah. And so like from the athlete side, it's like no one needs to know that you are up at 3 a.m. doing ladder drills, doing whatever it is. You're putting in work and you're doing you. And I think, me being a high school football coach, kids aren't doing that. They only care if the video's on them. Like they'll be like, oh, out here putting in work.
Yep.
They're on the gram and doing all this stuff. And it's like,
get it on fucking Instagram.
yeah. So they're like, they set their little phone up and they're like, all right, I did a ladder drill. Now I'm going to go home. They can actually put in work.
Right. And like, I'm all for, what I'm saying, like recording yourself and
if it's motivational.
And like sharing stuff and whatnot. But I think it goes back to that like true character. Are you doing it just so people can see it?
Yeah.
And they, what I'm saying, they think you're doing it, or are you doing it because you're true to yourself and you're actually doing it for you? You're not doing it for the views. You're not doing it for all that shit.
Yeah.
I remember, and I need to get back into it. I've slacked off, but I remember probably about a year and a half ago, probably a little bit longer now. I started taking weightlifting, bodybuilding type stuff very seriously, and like I was putting everything into it. Like that's all I did. And I did. I would record myself. I'd be putting it out there on Instagram.
Shit, man, I recorded you.
Yeah,
we did a whole.
Yeah, and it was during that time.
I didn't do very well, but.
No, but it still came out good. But that was during that time frame where I was putting everything I had into it, and I maybe posted, I don't know, a 15-second clip of me doing maybe some squats or something on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever it might have been, or a picture. But there wasn't the hours and hours behind the scenes
of what you're doing.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
And you're not going to ever know if someone's truly doing that. I can only say, because my athletes, I know most of them aren't. I know a few of them are. I know a lot of them are like, oh, do it for the gram, and that's it. But
well, and with that, I think the shitty part of it is like no one's posting the fails.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's posting the.
That's the whole, like, that's even with life. You'll post your vacation photo, but you're not going to post the bad one, right? You take 50 photos, but you post one.
Exactly.
And I think so. That's kind of like the social media side is very fake, but
100%.
Also the fact is, like, you do post that good one. Why? Because that's what's going to keep you going.
Right.
And that's okay. And so, like, it may be a little bit fake, but as long as you're true to yourself and have that character within yourself, you're good. You're solid. Like, obviously, like, we're doing this podcast. Do we want 0 people to view this? No, we want views.
No, exactly.
Right. We want people to see this. We want people to expand and things like that. So it's like, obviously, there's some side to it. And just like athletes need to be seen.
Oh, for sure.
Singers,
especially if you're trying to move on.
Yeah, singers need to be seen. Rappers need to be seen. So they're going to post those things. Right. And that's where the fine line is. Where's your character?
Right.
And that's what I think a lot of people are missing on the side of it.
Yep.
On like the inside is like, where's your character?
Why am I doing what am I doing?
Know your why. Know your why. I sent you that video.
Yep.
I got that video from Allie, and I was literally like speechless. I was like, you can't do a damn thing if you don't know your why.
No.
And so when I sent you that video, I was just like in amaze. I was like, that was beautiful.
Dude, it is.
It was truly beautiful. For everyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, because I didn't mention it, but this guy, I can't even remember his name, but he says, know your why, and he asked this guy to sing, and he was like, sing Amazing Grace, and he does it beautifully, and then he goes, now seeing it as your uncle just got out of jail and life is flowing, life is great. Like,
Right.
he survived from the hospital attack that he got, whatever it is, a true life experience. Now sing the song. And it was literally so deep.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful like voice that he had. And he was like, what was the difference from me telling you sing this song from me telling you
sing it again?
Sing it through what your experience is, like your feeling, your why. And it was incredible.
It's so different.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. So like knowing your why, and a lot of people don't know their why.
Right.
That is like where you need to find it. Try things, dabble in this, dabble in that, find your why.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like you are very good at that. You've done a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know why you did those things.
Right.
And I want to kind of fade you into the next topic, but
yeah, go ahead.
So just kind of tell me where your life has gone after baseball.
After baseball, yeah. So when I officially, and I always told myself, I think it's hard, like, because when you're an athlete, there's part of your mind that's like, this is never gonna end.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally gonna do this for the rest of my life.
I remember 2-a-days all the time, and I'm like, I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
But now.
Right, and it's like you have that thought of like, oh, I'm gonna be a baseball player forever. I'm gonna be a football player forever.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna be a singer forever. Whatever it might be that you do. But I always told myself that if there ever came a day that I was like, I'm done, and it felt right, then I needed to be done.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, that's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna feel that way.
Yeah.
And I remember that day came, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it was the shittiest feeling ever at the time, because it was like I'm walking away from something that I've put my entire life into, all these hours, days, nights, the blood, sweat, the tears, like, as corny as that sounds, like, but that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I remember that day came, and I was like, I'm done. It's time for me to walk away.
Yeah.
And at the time, that was the hardest decision I had to make, and I did, and I walked away. But I walked away with the mentality of there's more to life. Yep. There's more to experience in life. There's more things out there to do than just baseball, what I've been doing for my entire life. And there was things I missed out on,
Yeah.
Because baseball was always first, and like the first example that always comes to my mind is, growing up, I always wanted to learn how to snowboard.
Yeah.
Always. Like, it was something I always wanted to do. Yeah. But I never did, because baseball came first, because I didn't want to take the risk of getting injured. I didn't want to take the risk of breaking an arm or a wrist or a leg or whatever it might be. And then my baseball career suffering because of it. So there was stuff I missed out on. So I didn't go snowboarding for the first time until I was like 21 years old, 22.
It's crazy,
Man. And
it's crazy because I always started at like 6 or 7. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I sacrificed a lot, for my baseball career, and and it worked out. Like, I don't necessarily I don't regret doing that, because now I snowboard and I fucking love it, and it's fun, and so what, I got a little bit of a late start, but it's all good.
Yeah, you caught up.
Right. And so I just realized that there was more, to life, more to experience. And so I went into it with that mindset of like, well, now I have the opportunity. I don't necessarily have to sacrifice everything else just because. Mm-hmm. Now I can do it. If I want to do it, I'm going to go do it.
Yeah. So
like I said, snowboarding, was a big example. I'm big into motorcycles. As you know, I I'll probably get roasted for this eventually by all the sport bike guys out there. But I ride Harley. That's I'm a Harley guy. So bikes has become a huge passion of mine. Yeah. Which, I was like, I grew up like around motorcycles, and I always thought they were cool. But until like I really got, again, like out of baseball and I got out into life, was when I started actually experiencing it. And I got my first Harley, and then now I have another one, and it's awesome. I love it. And now I'm considering going to school to work on Harleys, and be a Harley mechanic and do stuff like that. I've had all sorts of different jobs. I've done retail. I've done food. I've been in the food industry. Like fast food type stuff. Some restaurants. Yeah. I've been a bouncer at bars.
Really?
Yeah, dude. That was actually, I think that was my first job in college. Me and my roommate.
No way.
Yeah, he knew someone who worked at the bar, and they had like just fired their bouncer or something like that. And, the chick told my roommate, like, hey, like, do you know anyone that might want to, come be a bouncer at the bar? And he was like, yeah, me and my buddy will do it. And he like pitched the idea to me, and I was like, fuck it, why not?
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
Might as well. And so yeah, I did that for a little bit, and then that was in college, and when I moved home and stuff, that's when I kind of started doing like the retail type stuff, and then I did security for a long time, and then I went on to be a cop. No longer a cop.
Yeah,
we'll touch on that later, but
yeah,
that might still be in the future. I might go back to it, but so I did that for about a year, and now I'm here with the coronavirus, unemployed.
It's a shitty time for a lot of people. It's rough.
Up. Yeah. But yeah, no. So now, yeah, like I said, now unemployed. The coronavirus has obviously had an impact on some stuff. And,
yeah.
But it is what it is.
You've definitely taken a positive to it.
Yeah, take it on the chin and do what I can to move forward.
The birth of True Life Thoughts Talk was through coronavirus. Yeah. So, some good has come out of it. I know you got your little pup. So you have been being a positive, a mindset. You have that character inside you that you're still going, right, which is awesome.
Exactly. And obviously, we've talked about it, down the road, obviously we'll share what happened and stuff, but,
yeah. Are you wanting to hold off?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say that, but
tune in.
It's
later on.
Yeah. And it's been shitty.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. Yeah.
It's still fucking.
I can't imagine.
Like, it literally haunts me every single day.
Yeah.
And it sucks, I've suffered obviously physically through it,
yeah,
severely mentally, but I don't know, like at some point you kind of gotta, I gotta be like, okay, as bad as this shit sucks, like what am I gonna do to at least try and make it somewhat better? Because there's a lot of shit that I can't control. There's a lot of shit that's pretty much out of my hands. But there are things I can control. And I have bad days.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have bad days.
Definitely okay.
But, even on your bad days, I got to remind myself, like, okay, man, I had a shitty day today. It's been bad. At least try and find one good thing. Maybe that happened today, or, that kind of mindset. And then, before I go to bed, it's like, okay, like I got to rebound.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I got to rebound, have a better day.
Exactly.
So it's, like I said, it's hard, man. Like I said, it haunts me every fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
But, it is what it is. And, it was, my mistake. And
yeah,
I'll be better down the road because of it.
You will. Yeah, you're moving forward. You definitely have not taken, you had that, obviously what happened, halted you.
Yeah, for sure.
But after it halted you, you could have gone further down.
Yeah, but it definitely could have got worse.
The huge thing is that you've rose above it and you're moving forward, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bleep that out. No, it's really cool that you have really taken it. You kind of took it by the reins and you're like, nah, I'm in control. Yeah. Like I may have lost my way, but I'm back in control,
for sure.
Which is awesome. And I know you, like you say, you have your bad days, and those bad days are gonna build you up even stronger, right, because that's what it takes to be successful. Is you fall down, you get back up, you keep going. So it's awesome.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And that's pretty much, like I said, where I'm at now.
That's where. So we're kind of caught up with you.
Yeah.
What time are we at?
We're like 34.
Okay, that's kind of what we were looking for, huh? Yeah. So we're gonna do a little bit of a break.
Yeah, do a quick break.
Quick break, and then we'll get to know who I am.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Too easy.
All right. Put a little bit of music on. Hey y'all, T here. Interested in making your very own podcast? It's pretty easy. Hell, JD and myself are doing one right now. What's cool is it's free, and you can make money with no minimum listenership. Anchor is the way to go. Anchor distributes on many platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcast. Anchor is a free app, or you can go to anchor.fm to get started. If you have stories to tell like we do, head over to Anchor and check it out. We also would like to shout out Beloved Restorations. You see that beautiful sign in the background? Well, I guess you might not be able to see it if you aren't on our YouTube channel, which I would suggest heading over to our YouTube channel to listen to this podcast. You get a great visual with an amazing sign in the background. That sign was all created by the amazing Amy Cameron. Her info will be in all of our links, so be sure to show her some support and get some awesome customizable signs. And it looks like the guys are ready to return to action. Tune in to hear their very own thoughts talk.
If I remember correctly, you're not a native, technically.
No, I am.
You are?
Yeah, for 100%.
Your family's just from Iowa.
I got a lot of family in Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah, so we spend a lot of time there, usually in the summers. Yeah. Actually, when I was younger, it was Minnesota.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, we were always in Minnesota. And then my grandma moved to Iowa, literally like right next door.
Yeah.
And so then we transitioned into Iowa trips and stuff like that. But no, I am from Colorado Springs. I've pretty much been here my whole life.
Yeah.
Never lived anywhere else. Literally been stuck here. But actually, so I was always up north in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And then we bought this house that we're in now and completely shifted all the way down south. And it's been a weird transition.
I'm sure.
Really weird. But it's kind of cool. I actually really like it. And it's kind of it's my vibe now. And, now the goal is to fix up the house that I'm in and kind of build it up, make it our own, and move forward and
rent it out.
Rent it out, get a nicer house.
There
that's the real goal.
That'd be tight.
So, yeah, I kind of got a whole new outlook on life of Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
From it, because I was always up north and I was never saw any of this stuff. I'd come down to the World Arena for hockey games and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That was the closest I'd ever been down south, and now I'm living in it, and I'm like, this is really different and very cool.
Yeah, different lifestyle for sure.
A lot of crazy stuff every now and then, but it's not too bad.
No, not at all. So, and you got something that you can call yours, which is tight.
Yeah, that's what I love. I'm like, I pull in the driveway. I'm like, this is home.
Yeah,
this is my home. And it's not my parents' home anymore. It's,
exactly.
It's literally like my home. It's got my name on it, which is the coolest thing ever.
Right, and it's like cool to have a car, right, or a truck or whatever, motorcycle. And that's mine. But it's different when it's like a house. Yeah. Or even an apartment or something. Something that's like, hey, this is mine. This is my crib. Yeah. So that's tight.
This is what I do with it. Right now I'm working on my fence and stuff like that. Right. So it's like, cool, I can make this stuff how I truly want.
Yeah, exactly.
You can buy a car and you can, do all this stuff to it, but it's really
well,
not
it's like
the
you
same.
go to other people's houses and you see how they have it set up and stuff. Yeah. Okay, that's cool, whatever. If you're living with your parents, fuck, I don't like it, but it's not my house.
It's not my house, so I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm definitely not satisfied with the way things look. The only thing I'm pretty much satisfied with is that big screen in the living room.
That thing's tight,
dude. It's
what beautiful. Is that, like fucking 80 inches?
75, and it's got the surround sound and all that.
Is that a smart TV?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's the way to go.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing's tight.
That was a great purchase. But
yeah, you might as well go big.
Oh yeah, I was like, it'll fit on the wall, so might as well get it.
Right, why not?
Yeah. But I mean, so that's kind of like where I kind of started it backwards. I kind of started where I'm at.
This is true. It's true. Yeah, you did.
You kind of started back then and then went forward. But I'll jump back. Obviously, I was not a baseball player, but I was a football player.
Right.
I did not go to college to play ball. I didn't even go to college for school.
Now, is that something you want to cover down the road when we hit that topic? You want to touch on it now a little bit?
And we can talk about it later if you.
No, it's up to you.
Yeah, no,
it's up to you.
We can talk about it later and kind of flow into it.
Yeah.
But so I was a high school football player. I'm not the best football player. I wasn't the biggest, wasn't the fastest, wasn't the strongest. My varsity coach actually told me that to my face. He's like, you're not the fastest, you're not the strongest, you're not the biggest, but you do have a great mind for football. Right. And, I used that to my ability, but that I had a great mind. In my playing ability, I was smart enough to know I can't tackle that 300-pound dude.
Yeah.
I was smart enough to know I can't catch the guy running a 4 flat. Give yourself some space, you know, backpedal a little faster, move, you know, move more swiftly. So I really transitioned that into coaching, and I kind of was like, so like, let's say my senior year, right? I got 2 offers to play college ball.
Yeah.
One in Iowa, which was really cool. I was really hoping to go for it. No, it was a private school, no scholarships.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Sounds about right.
And I kind of basically had a talk with myself, and I said, is football really worth being in debt the rest of your life to go to a private school all just to play football? Because I was like, I don't even know what I want to go to school for.
Right.
I had no idea.
I was the same way, yeah.
And so I was kind of like, nah, I think football's done for me. Yeah. And, you know, it sucks because I did, you know, I had that dream, you know, when I was 5 years old. I was like, I'm going to be a Denver Broncos cornerback or safety or whatever it was. And I hit that reality fast. Yeah. And I think that I'm grateful it hit fast, because obviously I never even weighed above 160. Yeah. And, you know, so I was playing small, playing a big man's game, and it hit me that I made it through, and I'm lucky I didn't get any injuries. Yeah. Like, I didn't get any serious injuries, and I made it through, and I had fun with it, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. I loved the 2-a-days. As much as I say I hate them, I loved them. Yeah. They were great. The bonding with the friends and things like that, it was great. And then I transitioned into coaching the very next fall, at a middle school, and it felt just so right. It felt perfect. You know, and I'm not like much of a talker, which is weird because I'm over here on a podcast talking. I tell people that all the time. I'm doing a podcast, and they're like, "You don't talk. What is wrong with you? You literally never talk." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I don't have anything to say right now. Like I will have stuff to say if you open me up." But I start coaching, and everything feels right, and I'm like explaining everything to these kids, and like I'm just like, this is what I want to do. Like I feel like I can actually make a change and a difference in some kids' lives. And over the last 5 years of my coaching, I've done a lot more than I thought I'd ever would as a coach.
Just the role is completely different.
Oh yeah. Yeah. As a player, you know, it's all about putting in that work, having fun, and being determined and focused and all that. And winning and just, you know, being with your boys and stuff. But, you know, you look at it from the coaching side, and it's like, it's truly X's and O's, and it's figuring things out. It's huge. You gotta, I don't know. I wish I had like a timer of how many hours I've watched film. Yeah, I bet. Countless and countless hours of just scouting my next opponent, you know, dissecting last week's game, you know, why did we lose 42-0? It is like heavy. Like, I don't remember how many times I'm sitting there at like 2 a.m. watching film. Right. It was unreal.
Well, not only that too, now you've gone from, like you said, being a player and with your boys and just having fun and all that good stuff, to now being a coach. And not only are you doing that side of it and the coaching side for the game, right, and trying to teach these players the game and giving them the tools necessary to succeed in the game, but now you are like you have to wear different hats. You know, and now like little Jimmy, for example, who's having problems at home, right? But he feels comfortable to come talk to you, and now you got to sit down and have, you know, those talks with them, and be, you know, I don't want to say like a parent figure, because that's not really, but you're a mentor, right?
Mentor, role model.
And giving them guidance in those, you know, different aspects of life as well. And so, and that's huge too.
Yeah. I mean, I've had quite a few experiences with that already. And, you know, at my age, I'm never like thinking I'm the one to go to with a family issue type thing. And I'm like, you know, they're going to, you know, kids struggling at home, whatever it is. And like, that kid's not going to talk to me. No, like I've had multiple kids like literally say like, no, you're like a father figure to me. Like, I need you right now. And I'm like, I was not ready for that part of coaching, stepping into that role. I was like, it hit me blindside. I was completely blindsided by it. And I've kind of fell into it though. Like I kind of fell into like being able to be that motivator, that guy that said, okay, he needs a father figure right now, rather than a coach, riding his ass saying, get up back on the line. He needs a sit down talk,
right?
And he needs someone to talk and listen to him.
Yeah.
And I think that has transitioned into a lot of what I do now, with special needs and things like that. Just because I get the feeling people have, like their life choices and their struggles. I feel like I've like slowly progressed into, from like when it was coaching, it was like these kids at home are struggling, to, oh man, now this and this and this is happening. And then I'm like looking at back and I'm like, dude, I've lived it.
Right.
I've truly lived it. I have had an absolutely blessed life.
Yeah.
Amazing life. Amazing parents, but mistakes along the way, bad stuff along the way. And I think I've used my bad experiences to bring out the best in me for someone else. And I think that's like honestly one of the coolest things. And I can say like, I'm proud of that. Yeah. Like I'm very proud of myself and being able to take the negative and turn it into positive. Right. And that's kind of like what, it's literally in our bio for the podcast, is take these negative sides of life and find the positive. And so like I've used that in coaching. I've used that in my job. I use that in everyday life, with talking to friends, talking to family. And so, and I'm not even like, I'm technically a therapist, but I'm a special needs therapist. Right. And like, so I'm not like no therapist. So I definitely am not going to be like,
not going to diagnose you.
Yeah, I'm not going to diagnose you or anything, but I will talk you through what I think could help. And I'm not like suggesting anything ever, right. It's just like, this is, I know it's a tough situation, but yada, 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 we'll get you through this.
Yeah, exactly.
So as coaching, like, I mean, just one story, I won't say names or anything like that, but it was a very stressful year. We had a rough football season, and this goes back into wins and losses are not life.
Yeah.
In a football game, in a baseball game, in soccer, whatever, wins and losses happen.
Yep.
We went 0-, I don't even know how many games we played, 0-10. We didn't win a single game. My first year as a high school coach. And season ends, we're about a month out. I'm not seeing many of the guys anymore. I'm not seeing them, every day in school. And all of a sudden I get a note that says, I'm sorry, coach. You were like a father to me. I'm sorry I failed you. And I took it right to our police officer at the school, and the kid, he attempted suicide and like things like that. And it's just like, damn, are you kidding me? Like that was like huge. So then I got to talking to the guy, and things like that. And it was really just really heavy that I had no idea what was going on. And so from that day forward, like my coaching took a different avenue. Yeah. I could have been that asshole coach that, yells on the line, does this and is a complete jerk. But no, I really took in the calm side of a coach. Right. I'm the keep it cool. You come to me, whatever you need.
We'll work it out.
Yeah. So like, I've had those situations, and it's been Well, it's been tough, but
and I think like that's the silver lining in it is right. And that's like, it's cliche to say this, but it is true. Is sports do teach you a lot more than just the game.
Yeah.
And so I think the silver lining in your point is like, yeah, we all want to win in our sport. We don't want to lose, because losing sucks. It doesn't feel good. But at some point you're gonna lose. You might be the team that is undefeated all year, and you lose in the playoffs round one, or you make it all the way to the championship, right? Yeah. And you lose in the championship. So reverse that and compare that to life. Like, we're not always going to win in life.
Yeah.
We're going to lose, right? I lost big time.
Big time.
I lost a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But what do you do in sports? You go back to practice the next fucking week.
Yeah.
You bust your ass. You figure out why you lost. You work on the reasons you lost so that you can win next week.
Yeah.
Sports. Then you win next week.
Yeah.
Okay, now it feels good.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the same thing in life. So
yeah, sports literally translate to everything.
And so how do I fix what I fucked up to lose last week.
Yeah, to improve.
To win next week.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. I think
it's huge. It's huge, and a lot of people, they know it. They know that. I think they truly deep down know, like, I gotta just get back up on that horse and go.
But it's hard. But it's hard work.
It's hard work, and a lot of people will say, "I don't have any left in me."
And it's easier to choose the fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Mentality, and I'm just, I'm saying I'm just gonna do what I gotta do to get by.
Yeah.
Then take the hard road.
Yeah.
And I've been there.
Yeah.
I like we talked about this. I'm not trying to make it about me, but I battle that road every day now.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Do I just want to say fuck it and take the easy road and not worry about shit, or am I gonna just take the hard road and get through this? But to your point, I think that's true. I think people do that all the time. They're like, fuck it, I'm not gonna deal with it.
Yeah, and I think they don't realize when you do take that hard road how much better you feel. Just you feel more accomplished. You feel so much better about yourself. It's really that taking that first step. And I think the saying is, the hardest part's getting to the gym.
Yeah,
that's the hardest part. Are you gonna get up off that couch and get your ass in the gym?
Right.
That's literally the hardest part. Do you want to get back in shape? Get off the couch and drive to the gym now.
Right.
The hard part's over.
And eat the right foods.
Yeah. But even if you're just trying to get back into the beginning of it.
Because once you're at the gym and lifting the weights, that shit's easy.
Cake. Yeah.
That shit's easy.
And that's the way it is with everyday life. Are you going to... It's also a little bit about setting yourself up for success. Yeah. What are you doing the night before that you have a 5 a.m. exam that you got to get ready for? Are you, chugging a beer, or are you in your bed sleeping?
Right.
Prepare yourself for your everyday life. And that, I think, when saying that, people are like, that's common sense.
Right.
So, common sense isn't too common.
No, it's not.
Because a lot of people weigh themselves down. They do it to themselves by not preparing for their own life.
Yep.
And I really, truly try to establish that as a coach, and even as my therapy job. I try and say, hey, because obviously I work with kids with behavioral health, and in doing that, a lot of them get really aggravated easily. So our big thing is big problem, little problem.
Yeah.
Find your big problem, find your little problem.
Pick your battles.
Pick your battle. Yeah. And a lot of people say, well, that's common sense too. That's easier said than done.
You think?
Not for these kids, not for a lot of people. And a lot of people say, oh, that's easy, I wouldn't know what to do. Then they're put into that situation, and it's like,
what the fuck?
No answers. Yeah. So, I kind of got a little sidetracked from talking, but I don't know where quite I was at with life. That's life good. Of T.
You're talking about, how you're a behavioral therapist. We touched on football.
Yeah. So
what are some things, obviously, you enjoy outside, obviously, outside of football, outside of work?
Yeah.
What are some other things you enjoy?
So I enjoy a lot of, actually, I don't have an answer for that one. No, I just enjoy finding things to try.
Okay.
And I don't know, it sounds kind of cheesy. It's how often do I really try new stuff? I don't try new stuff often. I barely eat any new foods and things like that. I'm very in my ways, but at the same time, I'm when I'm ready to do it, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So some things I like, outside of football, I tried baseball. I tried coaching baseball. I thought it was really fun. I probably will never be a MLB coach. I will probably never, know too much about the game, but I could definitely coach a little league team and get a couple dubs.
Yeah.
So I enjoy, that's not really different from coaching football, and it's still coaching, but things like that is I do enjoy working out. I have struggled. That to this day has been one of my biggest struggles, getting in the gym and putting in work.
Right.
I used to do it when I was a football player, and I was motivated, all in. Why? Because football was attached.
Yep.
I don't have anything attached to it other than being ripped and looking good, and I'm I look all right. I look fit.
Right.
So, and I struggled with that all the time, and I still struggle with that, and coronavirus is not helping with that at all.
No, considering no gyms are open.
Yeah, so it's very tough for me to get in the gym. So that's probably one thing that I do love, and I know I love it.
Right.
But I always have struggled to get into the gym.
Yeah, I'm the same way. My big thing is, I think for me, it's not necessarily the gym side of it and like going there because I like, and obviously like anything else in life, you have your shitty days where like, fuck, I really don't want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
But also those are the best days to go lift. For whatever reason, the days when you're like, fuck it, I really don't want to be here. I really don't want to lift. I feel like shit. Yeah. Then you go lift and you have like, you set a new PR or whatever, and you actually feel really good.
Yeah.
Really, it's not so much that for me. For me, it's the nutrition side of it.
That's the hardest. Yeah. Yeah. That's super tough.
And making sure that I'm eating enough, because then there's days where I won't eat enough, or I'm not eating the right foods, and that for me is the hardest part. But yeah,
it's very tough. And I think like I do it in sections. I will literally go for a month meal prepping and great, and then
I'm the same way, it's I'm the same way.
It's tough, and dude, I think
I've really become a fan of like, so for here in the spring, and there's a lot of different places out there. I don't know, maybe some of you listening, you guys live in a different state. I don't know, but I've really become a fan of like meal prep businesses. So like here in the Springs, I love fast food foods. So shout out to them. They're awesome. And that's because for me, it takes the work out of it, right?
Yeah.
They make the food. I get it. I eat it, right? I know what I'm eating. It's pretty clean food. The calories are on there, the carb, amounts, the protein amount, the fat amount. It's all done.
It's all there.
The guesswork is done. Like, all I got to do is eat and go lift. So
I need that.
I've become a huge fan of it. And honestly, like,
I've never even heard of it.
It's awesome, dude. I'll show it to you, and I hope I get you hooked, because like, and I'll still go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
And I'll still like, my girlfriend and I will like still make dinners and stuff, and whatever, and I'll eat stuff outside of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so easy. Like, it just makes so easy. Like, you get up in the morning, your breakfast is ready. You literally just throw it in the microwave, you eat.
Oh wow.
And then like, if you need a meal, let's say for lunch, right? Your lunch is done, or you need a meal right before you go to the gym or whatever. Done. You need a meal after the gym. Done. Like, it makes life very convenient when it comes to getting your calories in and your macros in and all that stuff. It's super convenient.
That's cool. Yeah, I've never even heard of that.
That's awesome.
But to hop back onto some of my other hobbies and things like that, I actually thought of some while we were talking, so that's cool. Thoughts are talking. I love photography. Photography has been,
did that for a while.
Yeah, it's been huge. I was a photographer for the United States Air Force Academy. We're called Web Guy. We're kind of a little smaller portion. We don't do the news stuff. We do everything for the parents.
Oh, nice.
So we have like, the close-ups of their kids, and we post them on a website and do all that. So I've lived through 3 or 4 basic trainings.
Hell yeah.
It's just pretty cool to see each year. I could totally join and like feel like I would know what I'm doing.
Right.
But then I know like I'm not at the academy, so
that would be that would be the same time where you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing, and then they would like literally change everything.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen any of this shit.
Exactly. Before. Yeah. So the academy is obviously very different than the other branches, and just joining the Air Force. But no, it's really cool to see, and they go into Jacks Valley, which is like they like go camping, they build their tents, they do all that, and then they have different courses. So they have like C course, which is just confidence course. Pretty much no yelling involved. It's all building their confidence, which is cool. Obstacle course, trying new things, trying challenges. And then the assault course, where they get ripped new ones.
Wrecked.
It's great.
Yep.
Bombs are going off, and I'm just in it, like, taking pictures, smoke grenades.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's cool. You see all their faces; they get covered in mud.
Yeah.
I've got some pictures that are just awesome, where like kids like half in mud, and you can just see it like coming down. I'm like, beautiful. It's awesome. But yeah, so I've done that for a while. Coronavirus kind of messed that gig up. Right. I should actually be working there right now, doing the next set of trainees coming in, but kind of messed me up there. I've done a lot of other gigs where I was a personal trainer for a long time. I obviously did not do too well because I am not one anymore, and I honestly, like, I didn't get the diet side. I didn't get the nutritional side.
Yeah.
I knew my stuff. I could get a great workout in. Did not know what to do with the nutrition.
In the kitchen,
yeah. And so I did that for, I want to say I did that for like 6 months. I did all the schooling, which was like heavy, and then I ended up doing it, and I was like, I don't even like this.
Forget it. Yeah.
But luckily, I was working at the YMCA. They pretty much paid for everything for me to learn, and then I just backed out, and kind of did it that way. So it was kind of cool. It was a good experience to like really figure out if that was truly what I wanted to do.
Right.
So I did that, and I do love fitness, but I definitely am not a fitness coach.
Yeah.
I am a football coach where I can get you football fit. I can get you your knowledge of football games and things like that, but I'm not a bodybuilding fitness, losing weight type coach.
Right.
Not that, not my thing.
For sure.
But I tried it out and gave it a shot. So, and I think that's one thing I've been pretty good at is trying new things.
That's important.
Because like my very first job, I was a landscaper. That was awesome. That was cool.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do it forever. And then I worked at Villa Sport, and you worked there too. We had some good times there. Yeah. I had the probably worst job, housekeeping. You were at least
I worked on the grill, dude.
Yeah.
I just hung out.
Yeah, I know it was hot behind that grill, but you probably did not have to deal with anything that we had to deal with.
Not really.
We had some nasty stuff occur.
I just got to hang out at the grill and at the pool.
That was a cool gig. I got a leadership opportunities in there, which was really neat. I was a salad cook, not really a cook, just a salad guy.
There you go.
Made salads for a couple months. I was a dishwasher, so I dabbled in everything, and I found out restaurant business was not for me.
Not for me.
And I also tip a lot higher after working there. I feel for those people. Servers, dishwashers usually don't get tips.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel for those guys. They're out there. They're back there doing their thing, and
nasty.
It is disgusting. I almost cut my thumb off, dude. I have a scar. Literally, almost lost my thumb because someone chucked a plate and it hit and it literally went up and nearly sliced my thumb off. No, yeah. So safe to say I didn't last long.
Fair enough.
What else have I done? I worked at the high school,
right?
So, and that's kind of where I got into special needs.
Right.
I actually got into special needs a couple years before doing respite care, just at home care. I wasn't too big of a fan of it just because I didn't have any training. I didn't know what I was doing, and then so I go through the personal trainer phase and all that, and then I land the high school job as a coach.
Right.
And then they offer me a job at the school. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll try it out, and ended up loving it.
Yeah.
It was.
And I think we talked about that in the coronavirus one, right?
I think so. Or maybe the first one that we're not releasing. I think that's the one.
It was one of the two.
Yeah, I think it's the one we probably won't release for a while. Yeah. But I think.
There's one of those where we talk about that.
Yeah. Where I'm kind of like, I had no idea what I was signing up for and stuff like that.
Yeah, we totally talked about that.
Yeah. So I did the special education. Great kids, awesome, loved it. Hated the management side of it. They didn't treat people too well.
Right.
So got out of there, hopped into security, same school. Did that for 2 months or something like that.
Yeah.
Had that bad experience with the kid. That we talked about that too, and then I transitioned to ABA therapy, which has been great, and I love it. And I'm not gonna be rich off doing it,
right? But
rich at heart,
Yeah, for sure.
I truly feel like it's the right place for me. I feel these kids, and they're awesome. So.
Oh, yeah, that's what matters.
Yeah. Other than that, it's kind of like that's
pretty much it.
Top of the life, but like I have a lot more. Obviously, I want to say, just not trying to go too deep yet because we're just doing a casual introduction. But I did have a lot of those struggling life experiences like you have.
Yeah, which we'll eventually get into.
You'll get into those. Just kind of give a preview of what's to come for us, as well as we have the other episodes planned.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so there's a deeper story behind all the BS I just said.
Oh yeah.
You got a deeper side too.
I think we're just scratching the surface.
Oh yeah, we're just scratching the surface. I do want to mention though, like, back to this house. So we'll start with the house and then we'll end on the house. I guess that's probably a pretty good fit.
That's a good place.
I asked Allie to move into this house with me, and we kind of like took off from there, and it's been great. She hopped onto the Air Force.
Right.
She's there right now doing tech school.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, she's killing it, and yeah. So I mean, it's kind of, you know, back to full circle that life has many ways of taking hold.
Crazy.
I never thought that I would be in my own house at 23. At 22 is when I got the house.
Right.
Never thought I would be in a full committed relationship. Yeah, I know you see a ring on the finger and all that. So it's like life is really taking hold. There's a lot that has happened from high school.
Yep.
A lot that has happened from middle school, and I don't even remember those days. But
dude, I know.
It's
crazy how life works out.
Yeah, there's so much to be blessed and thankful for, and
for sure.
And
yeah, no doubt.
Even like, you know, I even count every struggle as a blessing because it's pushed me to get where we are today. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good place.
It's pretty good. Pretty good first episode, I gotta say.
I think it is too.
Good place to.
It's a pretty good place to end it.
Yeah. So.
Pretty simple episode. It's like I said, just kind of our basic introduction, just so you guys kind of get to know us type thing. There's obviously a lot more to share, a lot more stories.
Yeah, we got
deeper stuff coming.
We got a couple guys coming on to the podcast very soon.
We're gonna get people on the podcast, and then
I think we got 4 lined up.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think we got 4 lined up. Obviously, we're not gonna mention names right now, just to.
Yeah.
But we got a lot planned. That I got ideas I haven't even told you about.
Exactly.
So we're
always coming up with new stuff to put out there. But you know, I think it's gonna be, you know, episode every week.
Yep.
You know, like I said, we're gonna be on obviously all the major, you know, platforms as far as audio. If you're just an audio person, we're, you know, Spotify, iTunes. We're on Anchor, so check out Anchor. As far as if you're a visual person, we're going to be on YouTube as well. Yeah. So give that a shot.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, those will be all kind of our shout outs and
social media. We'll put the we'll put our email as well in the description.
That as well, yeah.
On YouTube as well. So maybe you're not a visual person, but you can go up there and grab our email. If you guys have, you know, requests, you know, maybe topics you guys want to hear, you can maybe even just comment in the YouTube section, or you can email us directly.
Yeah.
And let us know some topics you might want to hear, or if you just want to email us and maybe you have something you need to say and get off your chest, we'll be there to listen to you, and we'll definitely reply to as many people as we can. And
that's the big thing, guys. We're here to listen.
Yeah,
we're truly here. So,
but it's been a good first episode.
Yeah,
I know we're excited to get things rolling and go on this journey with you guys, and hope you guys are ready to join with us.
Yeah, we're ready.
So, all right, we will see you guys next week. We'll catch you on the mic.